Perfection is a concept that I feel doesn't exist. The universe and everything within is an ever-evolving ecosystem where every second brings out a new change to life itself. Perfection implies that we have reached the final frontier of a concept or a design, even though new ways to tackle situations occur every second. However, I never said that perfection couldn't be attempted. You've seen the title and thumbnail to this stupid Bottleman review video. Is Kuro Ryuo G the perfect Bottleman? We'll find out the answer to that stupid, meaningless question on this episode of Hypertalks, a rambly video series where I talk about design, writing, oddities, reviews, basically anything relating to my passions and or profession. That I want to talk about, like a gender-flipping cartoon anime abomination who's achieved perfection, or something like that. I don't fucking know at this point. Kuro Ryuo G, also known as Black Dragon King, or what I'm going to be calling him throughout the video, Kuro, because saying Kuro Ryuo G twists my tongue harder than certain kind of woman going to town on a warm popsicle stick. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that! What was I saying? Oh yeah, Kuro G is what you could call a perfect Bottleman. Heck, I called him perfect when I made my first impressions news video on the guy. But now that I have the mighty dragon in my hands, does he hold up to that title? Well, that's what this video is for, silly! This video will be going over every form of Kuro G, and I will be ranking them, then ranking the set as a whole. So are you ready? Ready, Cap? I'm not, because the script is huge! Kuro is a strange beast, to say the least. Hey, that rhymed. Given his main gimmick, I'm essentially going to be reviewing 5-ish Bottlemen at once. Oh yeah, the Bottleman may be advertised as having 4 modes, but there is a 5th base mode. I'm going to be doing this in kind of the same order as the details page. So, speed, power, control, base mode, and then finish it off with multi-type mode. So, Kuro GS is 2 power, 6 speed, 2 control, 2 stability, and 7 capacity, 4 normal caps, and 3 small caps. I also think this is the default form. Not only is it listed first on the details list here, but also when he's featured in Kokuryuoh magazine, like with the teaser of him or the silver recolor, Kuro is in speed form. Just some food for thought. Kuro GP is 6 power, 2 speed, 3 control, 3 stability, and 1 capacity. That power stat is sus. It's the same power as Kolomaru Energy DX. What? Kuro GC is 2 power, 2 speed, 6 control, 5 stability, and 2 capacity, 1 normal cap, and 1 small cap. The multi-type form and the base form don't have stats for some reason, so I had to analyse the power, speed, and control stats in order to come up with what I think their stats should be, or at least what Takara would make the stats. So, Kuro GB, for base or basic, could be 2 power, 2 speed, 2 control, 2 stability, and 1 capacity. Kuro GM, for multi-type, I think could be a 6 power, 4 speed, 3 control, 2 stability, and 4 capacity. Again, this is going off what Takara gave the other form stats, so I'm just sort of mixing matching them for these two. Does Kuro, with its many forms, line up with its many stats? Yesn't. Some are accurate, and some are bullshit. I know the stats on Bottlemen tend to be not the most accurate, kinda over-exaggerated sometimes, but they tend to be within the right ballpark at the very least. For example, I think the stability on all these forms should at least be a 3. Given that the foot part covers a pretty wide surface area and can easily hold the 4 caps it comes with. Another example, the power form shouldn't be a 6 in power. I'll explain it more when I get to the gimmicks and performance part of the video, which should be next. But I'm gonna have to review the God Cap first, since 2 forms of Kuro use this tiny little Bottleman as a part of its gimmicks and performance. So let's cover this first. Apparently, Dragon-based G Bottlemen have a thing for cap sizes, because the Black Dragon King comes with small caps. Yes, That's their name. A bit bland, I know. I would have gone with tiny caps. The small caps are used within the small cap launcher core thing. I don't know the name of this little dragon boy, so I'm just going to be calling it a launcher. Is that good with you? It's good with me. It's my video. You can't change it. So what do I think of this tiny boy? Well, first of all, Kuro, may I say first and foremost, congratulations, it's a tiny boy! But your son is shit.
Don't speak to me or my son ever again!
Hey, shut up, Kuro! Fucking Sonic OVA. Yes! Even though I do like this concept, it's kinda weak in execution. Given they are tiny shots, and the launcher's hold parts aren't the tightest, it makes these mini projectiles soft. Like, it just feels soft. You know? Compared to Kuro himself, this is just kinda weak. Barely enough power to knock over my Ribena bottle. If that? Remember, that thing is mostly hollow. It's going to struggle with heavier targets. I guess it's okay for the official bottle targets, but I don't know. It didn't knock down any of them that time. It functions well enough, I guess, but it just feels weak. You get what I mean? If anybody else actually has this Bottleman, do you get what I mean? It feels weaker than it kinda is, and it's throwing me off. Kuro is stronger and faster than this guy. This thing is way more of an assist than anything else, which is what it is designed for. This thing is a proper side mount. I just wish it was slightly stronger, had a bit more of an oomph to it, you know? Although, if you put some of the pieces together like this, you can solo wield the small cap launcher, and well, it's funny, I guess. Fucking came back! Hey you! Yes, you! Want to play a fun, energetic, adventurous story? With a big cast of fun characters, taking place in a modern fantasy, gunplay, AR sports-centered world? Then please check out my visual novel with a simple yet vast battle system, Armatalum Showdown! It's about a group of late teenagers, young adults, trying to uncover the lost history of the new kingdom of Bidondera and the AR sport of Armatalum. Along the way, you'll fight villains trying to do the same, and grow bonds with your party and the island. When a fight occurs within the story, you play the game's fight scenes while customizing your blaster's abilities and ammo. The game features many characters with their own unique ways to throw down a showdown, along with many different game modes to spice up the way you battle your opponents. I'm plugging my game because if you like both Beat'em and Bottleman, then you will love Armatalum. You can download the demo or play the full early access work-in-progress game over on my itch.io. Development will carry on once the lovely people want more Armatalum. If you want more, you get more. It would be amazing and mean the world to me if you at least tried out the demo. If that doesn't tickle your fancy, then maybe my top-down combat adventure prototype game, Dream Shot, might. You control 3 differently elementally themed characters as you explore the weird worlds of the escape zones to free its host from a never-ending nightmare. Each of the playable characters have their own skills and stats within a combat system that encourages you to mix and match those 3's powers. The game is completely free and it's short, so there's no harm's done in giving it a go. I just want to know if the gameplay is a good idea or not. If it is, then I will expand the story and gameplay. I also have a speedrun time on the game, so if you want to see if you can beat the developer's time, then give it a Dream Shot. Ha! Ha! Thank you for listening to my adverts. I'll let you get back to your regularly scheduled J5 the Hyperforce content. Welcome to the longest part of the video. Strap yourselves in, because we have 5 fucking forms to cover. So, let's get dangerous. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the weird bottle caps that I shove up your ass. What the fuck? I'll be covering these forms in the order that I did with the stats. Speed, power, control, base, then multi. So, shall we get started? Let's get dangerous! Kuro G's speed form's main gimmick is his side-mounted small cap launcher. With this, and his magazine, he is able to rush out a flurry of different sized shots. Given that the triggers aren't connected to each other like on, say, Royal Griffin DX, it gives you strategy on how you want to fire off and mix up the cap attacks. It's pretty fun, to be honest. Just a shame that it's kind of a mess to use. It just feels kind of awkward to use if I'm going to be honest. One side you hold normally, and the other side you hold the small cap launcher. I like to hold it like it's Samet G's trigger, like a syringe. It's not how Takara's Bottle Road shows it being held, but it's the best for me. The small cap launcher can be put into either shoulder wing, so you have options in how you want to hold this guy. Given the asymmetrical holding style of this form, it just kind of feels off to me. It's a bit more of a struggle to fire this guy. It gives me one-handed grip vibes, even though this is a 2-grip Bottleman. I'm not the strongest, so I like having a firm grip on the Bottleman, and having to one-grip Kuro and one-grip the tiny dragon. It just throws me off a little. Although you can have one on each shoulder, that's pretty neat. It makes him a triple threat. The magazine is pretty nice. It comes in 2 parts. The basic magazine piece that holds 2 extra caps, and a new magazine ender that holds 1 extra cap. The base 2-cap magazine is pretty nice. What else can I say? It functions way better than the 2-cap magazine that Aquasports DX has. It's great. I can't say much else. I like that it's blue, because I'm blue. Dabu-dee-dabu-die. As for the tiny add-on magazine, well, I have some words for it. I do like the design and shape of the magazine ender. A nice stylized wing-like topper. That weird mold at the front is so then the small blue dragon head can attach onto it. For some reason, it isn't used in any of the official forms, but yet that connection point exists. Why do I point this out? Because it makes it impossible to use as a solo magazine. What if you want to make a custom that has a 2-cap capacity? Head parts will get in the way of that dragon head connector point. It sucks. Unless you want your 2-cap capacity custom to look like this. Tiny head-ass bastard. I know this is like the most situational nitpick in the history of Bottleman ever, but like, it annoys me. Why would I use this fucking thing when CC Leon DX and Samet G have much better magazine enders? So I can have a silly little dragon head on top? Sure. I really don't get this piece. Maybe it has a slight little backwards angle curve to it, but I don't fucking know. I don't know what the fuck this thing is, to be honest. Boy, when I'm doing things like this, I really should have my Raycon wireless earbuds in. As if I'm sponsored by anything. This video is sponsored by me, Mattleman, Showdown, and whatever. They are stronger than I expected. What the fuck? 1 down. Ugh, 4 to go. I told you this would be a lot. Next up is Kuro G Power Mode. He's the only one of the main 3 modes that doesn't use the small cap launcher. His main gimmick is... Wait, Combat Phoenix's Mega Cannon Wings? I'm pretty sure this piece was created just to give Takara the excuse to make a Bottleman Combat Phoenix. Well, I'm not complaining. Bottle Phoenix G is actually slowly becoming one of my favourite G Bottlemen, but I am complaining because the Mega Cannon Wing G is kinda bad. Okay, not bad, but it's not a 6 in power good. You see, this thing is weaker than the suspension cannon arms of Kokuryuoh Energy DX. That Bottleman earned his 6 in power with flying colours. Unlimited colours. The Mega Cannon Wing G is strong, don't get me wrong, but it's not a 6 out of 5 in power strong. I'd say it's more of a 4 or 5 even, not 6. Yeah, Kokuryuoh Energy DX does have a drive strip to make it even stronger, but giving Kokuryuoh Energy DX the Mega Cannon Wings, it's still a bit weaker. But stronger than Power Mode Kuro. It's still a bit weaker than the Suspension Cannon Wing. Suspension Cannon Arms? Is it arm or wings for both of them? I don't know. I jump between the two, but I'm pretty sure one is arms and one is wings. Koromaru Energy DX having both access to cannon wings and a drive strip gives him that 6 in power. Kuro having no drive strip and slightly weaker cannon arms makes him feel weaker than Koromaru Energy DX. Therefore, I believe he's a 5 in power at most. Even if the suspension cannon arms and the mega cannon wings are the same boost in power, the fact that Kuro does not have the drive strip, yeah, that 6 should go to a 5, but the suspension cannon arms is stronger than the mega cannon wings, so whatever. Another reason why I'm not the biggest fan of the mega cannon wings is because it's kind of awkward to hold. You need to have your fingers on the blue panels to apply pressure to the hold parts to add power. Do you have your middle fingers on the panels or your index fingers on the panels? I don't trust Takara because they don't even hold it right. From what I can tell, her fingers aren't even applying pressure to the panels. At least from what I can see. It's awkward to hold, it hurts my fingers, hooba dooba. It's awkward to hold, and it hurts my fingers after a while, given how wide the wings are and how long the triggers are in Bottleman. You know, your hands are kind of splayed out everywhere. It's rough. Doing it where you have your middle fingers on the panels, so your index fingers can rest on the wings themselves, like, that's better, but still. The cannon wings are proving a theory of mine. Power-type arm parts can hold the big cap launcher. These arm parts can hold the big cap launcher, but does it add power to the big cap launcher? Not really. The actual arms themselves hold the big cap launcher too far back to affect the cap holder pieces at the front. The wings are too high up to limit the spread of the cap hold parts as well. All it can do is hold the launcher in place. It does look cool though, even if it is pretty loose. So yeah, the biggest issue with the cannon wings is that they are pretty loose, which means on DX figures, they don't lock in at all. Given that G cores have slightly thicker bumps on their arm connectors compared to DX figures, and since the cannon wings are loose on G cores to begin with, it means that they are even looser on DX cores. This also means that DX arms are slightly harder to put on and take off on G cores. So just be careful when mixing the arms and cores. Plus, the cannon wings, being a power type arm part that's designed to add tension to cores, can only work on power type cores. You can't add these to say Samet's G and get stronger shots out of him. It only really works on power types. So yeah, those are the biggest issues. Power type only, and they're pretty loose. Plus, they are outclassed by Koromaru Energy DX in every way. But here's the really strange part about all this. Bottle Phoenix G's Mega Cannon wings aren't loose. They clip onto DX cores just fine and don't fall off. What the fuck is going on? Is the red plastic just thinner than the white plastic? Like, what? That was a miss. That was a door I missed. Get in there, you salty Splatoon. That's what they call me when I play Splatoon. 3 more to go. Oh my god. Kuro G control mode is next up. Is it wrong for me to say that this is the worst mode? His gimmick is having a vertical small cap launcher, along with a short barrel. I'm going to cover the barrel first, then the vertical small cap launcher. So the barrel is pretty short. You think that this barrel would be our first barrel ender accessory, akin to the magazine toppers that we have been getting, given the dragon head and jaw pieces at the front. Like, how do you connect another barrel when that stuff's in the way? But not really. You can take those pieces off and slap a barrel onto the front. Why? Because sure. But it is kind of funny having a screaming dragon coughing up bottle caps. So I'd rather use it as a barrel ender. Yeah, look at it. It looks like a screaming dragon. How many stupid screaming edits can I put over this? me, apparently. Obviously, a longer barrel would be better, but what we do have is pretty nice. Plus, it doesn't make Kuro lose too much power, which is good for the perfect / multi-type mode. Now for the vertical side mount. The issues that I have with the small cap launcher from the speed form apply here too, but now there's even more issues! Just like me! You think it couldn't get any worse, but then it does! Aha! I love that I've developed depression this year, aha! Mainly the fact that the caps can sometimes exit the launcher via the magazine that is now situated on the side. The caps can get misaligned very easily because of that gap. It's kind of annoying. The side mount is very off-center to the main body, so even if the main body is lined up with a target, the small cap shots will just miss. That is horrid for a control type, where one of the defining traits of a control type is its accuracy. I guess this is more built for multiple targets, but then speed form would just do a better job with that. The gap between the main core and the side mount is an issue. I do like how you're able to have access to both horizontal and vertical shots, but Royal Griffin DX just does it better. Plus, the Royal Bird has 2 full-size caps. Heck, 3 actually, so ha! Fuck you, Kuro! Bird up!
Bird up!
Holding this form of Kuro is kind of jank. Just like the rest of the fucking figure. You have to be careful on how you're holding onto the side mount, or it's just gonna come right off. It's very asymmetrical too, so like, this form is just weird to me and it feels like it was slapped together. Probably because it was, but whatever. One side looks normal, and the other side is... what? It's just an ordinary Bottleman. Oh my goodness! Takara! Just fucking screaming at Takara is the funniest thing. I don't know why. They're not gonna listen to me. They fucking hate me ever since I showed off the leaks. You can double up on the side mounts to make him more balanced and a triple threat as well. This form kinda looks a little bit better, but it still looks a little slapdashed. It does end up becoming some sort of like inverted Royal Griffin DX. That's pretty neat. Although with only one Kuro set, yeah, he looks like a mess and feels like one too. He functions, but I don't know. He's weird. Just giving base Kuro his barrel feels like a better control form than this. Oh no, I'm weird. Am I the only one who thinks that this thing is a fucking mess? Maybe? Huh? You know what is weird though? The fact that the dragon head and jaw can be attached onto Deca V Tiger. It's to improve his accuracy? Maybe? It really doesn't feel like it improves his accuracy, and it probably doesn't. It's just a silly looking extender. Jeez, if I had a nickel for every time a multi-type dragon-themed Bottleman had a weird upgrade for a vertical Bottleman, I'd have 2 nickels. Which I know isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. And I'm British English, so how the fuck am I getting nickels? No, seriously. Why? Why is this a thing? It doesn't even do anything. What? I don't know. Oh, would you look at that? It... fucking small cap got misaligned and I missed. I hope this illustrates how awkward to use this mode is. I was point blank. How? Who thought vertical shooters were fucking control type? Even with the control type vertical shoot, I still fucking missed. We'll hit it. There we go. He's built for control. If he misses, what the fuck is this thing? Fucking control type my ass. It controls my patience, that's for sure. Never thought I'd have this much fucking difficulty with this mode. Well, I did actually. I was lined up perfectly. The caps drift. So how is that control? It curves! I know I'm shit with aiming, but when you like shoot one of these kind of caps with this like lip, it drifts. What? Oh no, it rolls. See, starts drifting. How is that accuracy? It's not. Missed again, Kuro. Fine. Small cap launcher. I had to be in an angle for that one. Fuck him. 2 forms left. Before we can cover the big boy form, I'm going to cover the base form. Kuro, but with no fancy accessories. Just him in his rawest form. And this is where I'm going to be talking about the base parts of Kuro. Like the default arms, the headpiece and the foot part. And the core. Oh, that core. Honestly, just using base Kuro is actually pretty good. He is a pretty great all-rounder Bottleman, even if he leans slightly more towards power because of the hold parts, but The head part is pretty nice since the horn can be used as an aiming sight. The arm wings are a good-ish grip, giving you some good control. The foot part has those massive heels at the back to support the weight of a magazine, and keeps this guy very stable on the ground. The foot parts are good. And finally, the core. Stand aside, Arrow Cider DX Red version. We finally have a perfect core in town. Kuro G's core has power hold parts with the spikes, a slot on the back to support magazines, and a hole at the front to support barrels. Even the trigger pad is pretty nice. It is, quite frankly, the perfect core. Unless you want roller hold parts, then honestly I'd really love roller hold parts with power spikes. That'd be kinda cool. So what are the downsides to base Kuro? Well, the wings are kinda weird. I love their look, but holding them is a different story. Given those tips at the end of the wings can dig into your hands and limit how your fingers wrap around the wings, it's kind of annoying. You can hold it with 2 fingers on each wing, but the margin of error is kinda shitty. They're not exactly the most comfortable wings to hold, is what I'm saying. You can just take the wings off if they are that much of a bother to you. Sadly though, the arms themselves are just wide enough and just hollow enough to avoid the power spikes. So no power boosting from these arm parts, which is a shame because it would have been really cool if they could. If you want power from Kuro, you'll need his mega cannon wings. Overall, a pretty amazing all-rounder Bottleman, even without all of his gimmicky add-ons. One more to go. The final form. Kuro multi-type form. This is Kuro's perfect form. All of the performance type accessories combined together to create the ultimate form. The power of the Mega Cannon Wing G, the speed edition of the magazine, and the accuracy boost of the barrel. What else can I say other than it's perfect? All of the best parts of Kuro are combined into one figure. Yeah, his side mount / small cap launcher is gone, but you know what? Good. You don't need it with this accurate, strong, rapid-fire power within your hands. Although, I do have one suggestion. One! Let's make use of that weird head connector piece on the magazine, and put the blue dragon head on there. That little bump on the nose of the head can be used as some sort of aiming sight, I guess. Plus, it does make use of that awkward connection point that previously just wasn't being used, but is there for some reason. But who cares, really? This is the best form. Do I really need to say anything else? Look at it. Look at it. I want you to look at it. It came off. It's that strong, it came off. I love Bottleman G's quality control. I shoot the thing and it falls apart. Came off again. It came off again. It seems to happen when I try to shoot this guy like a rapid fire type. Sorry, speed type. Okay. It's time to take a nice break, now that I have covered every single form's performance. Let's just appreciate the fine look of this Bottleman. Oh yeah, design and aesthetics! He's based on a drink called Kuro Oolong Tea. I think. Huh, no wonder he's Kuro Ryuo G. Man, if I had a nickel for every time a T-themed Bottleman had access to both horizontal and vertical shots, I'd have 2 nickels. Which I know isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. I really like the design of this Bottleman. The black with the 2-tone blue highlights is just so nice. So aesthetically pleasing. What isn't so pleasing though is the eyes. I don't know what it is about this strip of green, but it just kind of throws me off. All of that unused space underneath as well. The way that the eyes curve around the boxy corners too is just... it's weird. Fucking weird looking bastard, isn't it? I'm looking at him right now just to make sure, and yeah, he is a weird looking bastard. Don't particularly like it. One thing that does confuse me, however, is the cannon wings being red. Why are they red? Shouldn't they be blue with fire-coloured highlights like the rest of the accessories? Those accessories do look great, by the way. It's a pretty lovely shade of blue mixed with a red to orange to yellow highlights. So aesthetically pleasing! Anyways, back to the cannon arms. One idea that I had is that the cannon arms are red because that's the colour of power types. Power types are usually represented by the colour red. However, why isn't the barrel green in this case? Green being associated with control types. Power red cannon wings, a speed blue magazine, and a control green barrel. All fitted around a solid black Bottleman. But since the magazine and barrel are blue, why isn't the cannon wings blue? I do love this red with blue highlights cannon wings, but it does stick out like a sore thumb amongst the black and blue of the rest of the figure. Plus, it being blue with red highlights would have been even cooler, but that's my colour scheme preferences showing up. Giving the tiny cap launcher a head is actually a pretty cute idea, but it's only done in the speed form. I guess that's why there's so many attachment points across the accessories, so then you can stick the head on somewhere. As for the design of each form, I think all but 2 are fantastic. Those 2 being perfect form and control form. Perfect form does look like a mashup of parts, because it is. With the cannon wings being red, it is kind of a... I'm not saying that I don't like the design, I do. It could just look a bit more cohesive. Blue cannon wings. And as for the control form, I've mentioned it before. I really don't like how lopsided this thing is. Just the random wing on the floor there is just kinda ew. Speed, power, and base forms all perfection outside of blue cannon wings, but whatever. Power form is kind of weird, but I've mentioned it before when ranting about the cannon wings being red as a weird choice. Oh well. So, is Kuro Ryuo G the best Bottleman? If we do some calculations, carry the 1 and blah 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 blah, hooba-dooba, yes! 9 out of 10! Okay, how can I say that he's perfect, yet not give him a perfect rank? Well, all of those nitpicks of mine do add up to making this guy lose 1 point. 1 single point. His wings are awkward to hold, and control mode is really jank. But outside of those, and red cannon wings, honestly, it's incredible. See, Takara, we like it when you don't limit our options and give us a core that can use power, speed, and control all in one. If I were to rank all of the forms individually, it would be... Speed form is 8 out of 10. Handling it is a little awkward, but I love this guy. The options you have while distributing the different shot types is pretty nice. Also the best use of the small cap launcher. Power form is 6 out of 10. He's a pretty nice and powerful figure, but nowhere near the might of Koromaru Energy DX that its stats imply. The control form is a dodgy 4.5 out of 10, just as dodgy as he is. It's jank, it's weird, I don't like it, it functions well at the very least, I guess. Base form is 6 out of 10. Just an overall really nice all-rounder Bottleman. On his own, however, he's not really that remarkable, but still pretty reliable. Add a magazine and it's like a lot better. And oh, what does Kuro come with? His own magazine. Just a pretty solid Bottleman on his own. Perfect form is what you would expect. 10 out of 10. It really is the best form. And the best Bottleman G has made so far. The best blend of power, speed, and control. And hey, if this isn't enough, somehow, stack those magazines, extend those barrels, and put on the suspension cannon arms. This figure is true perfection. It is 100% worth it to grab this Bottleman. He looks cool, he plays cool, he is cool. He is an all-in-one package. He has everything you'd want to experiment with the different performance types, has a core built for such a task, and allows for a perfect form to be assembled. Dare I say, he is one of the best Bottlemen ever made. Not just out of G, from all three systems. Okay, granted, G's quality control is messy at best, an actual fucking problem at worst. But if we don't take into account G's rampant QA bullshit, Kuro Ryuo G is one of, if not the best Bottlemen ever made. If you can only buy one Bottleman, he might be the best choice. Hi, Editing Josh here. The score that I have given this set comes with a huge asterisk next to it. What does that asterisk mean? Well, this happened. I broke Kuro. I actually have broken Kuro. Geez, quality control, am I right? Yeah, so what I've heard and experienced, Kuro's core is kind of brittle. The main issue, from what I can tell, is not only is the core's plastic a bit weaker than usual, but also the regular black arms that the set comes with are too tight. They are so tight, it's barbaric. This set would be perfect if G's quality control wasn't absolute dog shit. Plus, this might have been a user error because of the way that I took off the arms. I sort of bent it inwards because it would just pop off easier. But the fact I had to do that instead of straining myself to pull the arms off in general. The arms shouldn't be this tight. The red cannon arms are fine though because they're loose. So if you are planning on getting this Kuro set, I highly advise you to be very cautious, swapping out the arms as little as possible, and not like me where I was swapping them around constantly to get the different shots that I needed, which probably did stress the plastic a lot more. Which, on a figure that comes with two different arm parts, sort of encouraging you to swap the arms around a couple of times at least. What? That's stupid! If the black arms weren't this tight, I don't think there'd be that much of an issue. You'd probably still be cautious, but they are really tight and it probably does stress the plastic a lot. This sort of issue is just really bullshit for a figure with two sets of arms. If you can afford it, buy two sets. So then you can have one core with the regular arms and one core with the cannon wings. Or you can maybe shave down those bumps, or shave off some of the plastic on the black arms so that it's not as tight. I don't know. DIY this fucker, I guess. So while this Bottleman would be perfection, of course perfection doesn't exist and Takara-Tomy cheat the fuck out. So, what do you all think of the Black Dragon King, Kuro Ryuo G? Do you agree with me that he is the perfect Bottleman? Let me know in the comments below. The openness and experimentation you're allowed to have with this one Bottleman and his kit, it's just fascinating to me. It's the reason why I got into Beat'em and therefore Bottleman. The customization, the options, the ability to build your own blaster. And Kuro Ryuo G gives me those vibes. Look, there's a reason why I have these custom Rise Speeder videos on my channel. It's one of the things that got me into this series in the first place, the customization. Which is why Bottleman having a lack of customization makes me a little teeved. But Kuro Ryuo G, yeah, the fucker can just do anything. I can do anything! I mean, look at this custom monstrosity. Fucker looks like a Kuro Orochi G. In fact, the poster even calls it Yamata no Orochi Black Dragon King. So I guess I wasn't wrong calling him Kuro Orochi G. To stop repeating myself so much. TLDW, too long didn't watch, Kuro G is a perfect Bottleman, allowing for a lot of experimentation and options with his parts, even allowing for a perfect build. His core, on its own, is already amazing. But then you add in a barrel and magazine that are backwards compatible with the DX barrels and magazines, his own set of cannon wings, and an extra tiny boy Bottleman that shoots small caps. Bro, how can he not be the perfect Bottleman? I know I normally do like 2 or 3 Bottlemen within a review video, but look at the runtime. I just covered one Bottleman with 5 different forms. Give me a break. I essentially reviewed 5-ish Bottlemen in one video. Have mercy on me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. It's important feedback for my content, and helps me out in YouTube's algorithm and all that shit, you know. If you want more Bottleman reviews off me, it's a good way to show support for said reviews, you know? Tell me that you want more by like, comment, subscribing, hitting the bell, yeah, all that shit. Do people still even want my Bottleman content? I don't know at this rate. The Nerone and Lacy brain rot is real. Follow me on Twitter. I refuse to call it by its other name. It's Twitter at J5 the Hyperforce to keep up to date with whatever projects I'm working on at the time. Suggest ideas to me, or teasing upcoming content, or shitposting. I do that too sometimes. You know, if Twitter's gonna be alive by the end of the fucking year. If you have any fan arts to send me, like maybe of my Bottleman custom Rice Speeder, along with his user, Rena Bina, maybe Vtuber Jody, Sakura Yui, or anything else relating to me, send them to me on my Twitter at J5 the Hyperforce, and I will feature them in the next Hyper Talks video I am editing at the time. Again, if Twitter's still alive by the end of the year. Don't forget to check out my video game, Armatalum Showdown, the visual novel with a battle system. If you like Bottleman or beat 'em on, you will love Armatalum. It's the same kind of thing. There's also Project Dream Shot to try out. A different style of shoot 'em up. It's a more adventurous shoot 'em up. It is an experimental prototype, so feedback on it would be wonderful. Both these games are fun and cool, so you should play them. I dare you. This isn't a request, it's a demand. I am the one holding the power of Kuro G here. Do it! And with all that said and done, this has been J5 the Hyperforce. I will see you whenever next. Goodbye! Sayonara!